I'm not gonna do it. I don't care what you say. I'm not gonna do it. No. No. Ah! You know, it's bad enough that we get a lot of shitty Christmas specials and holiday television shows over the years, but a Christmas movie that stars everyone's most beloved pussy? Why not?
Grumpy Cat, aka tartar sauce, and not the delicious condiment that goes with seafood dishes, is well known throughout the internet due to her grumpy facial expressions, and because of one brother's attempted joke by taking a picture of her sister's cat and posting it on Reddit. It exploded quite possibly in the most fantastic way for him and his sister. Now this cat has over 7 million Facebook likes, 310,000 followers on Twitter, 33 million views on its channel, and has reported to quite possibly be worth up to $200 million in revenue.
Not that I have anything against this sassy feline. After all, what's good for the goose is good for whoever owns this cat right now.
But when I heard that the Lifetime channel, of all people, decided that they wanted to do their own take on a Christmas movie starring the Big Cheese herself, the first thing that came to my head was,
fuck, now I gotta review this. Well, she is an internet sensation, and when I heard that this so-called snob reviewed her earlier this month, I figured why not critique it as well. After all, I hope to one day be as well respected as all the other internet... as I was saying, well respected as... He's not going away anytime soon. Anyways, let's take a look at Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever.
So the film opens up with everyone enjoying their Christmas shopping, a little copyrighted caroling, and...
No. That song makes my tail hurt.
Thanks, I guess.
Hello, hi, how are you? Welcome to Grumpy Cat's Worst Christmas Ever, the movie! You don't have to watch it, but I know you're going to, so...
Well, it is my job after all.
So anyway, Grumpy Cat promises us that watching her movie will be as exciting as watching stock footages of older and better movies, followed by wrapping paper wipes of each of the cast members in here.
Because Christmas!
Grumpy Cat lives in a pet store at a mall which is filled by a bunch of other sad, desperate pets who will only be in this store and in one other plot in the third act. Grumpy doesn't mind living in the store. After all, she was returned twice already.
She does seem a little grumpy. Can I trade her for a fish?
Yeah, throw away your only cash cow, you dumbasses.
The store is owned by an owner who is in debt because we have this little baby face in a suit reminding him of that. His solution to save the store is none other than Grumpy herself.
All we need is a picture of Grumpy saying something like, I had fun once, it was awful. I mean, you put that on the internet thingamabob and that is sure to go viral. Her face will launch 1,000 products, everything from t-shirts to coffee mugs.
Shut up and take my money!
But that was nothing more than one of many Grumpy Cat's little imaginations that this movie will throw at you. In reality, the store's owner is planning on selling this dog for $1 million because...
It's rare, I guess? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm a dog lover myself.
Boo.
But it doesn't quite scream millionaire material.
Time to meet our awful movie's heroine. There she is, look at her. with second billing behind me. Aubrey Plaza as Grumpy Cat.
You say you're number one, but tell me again why you're listed at the end of the credits, Aubrey Plaza.
So we are introduced to our main human actor, Crystal, who spends her time after school at the mall and greets all of her supposed friends who work there. But I have to call BS on this one because there is no way that anyone would enjoy working at a mall. And we get some D-list actors with another subplot and...
Blah, blah, blah. B story, not my line, not my line, not my line. Meow.
Damn, Grumpy Cat, it's like you do the jokes for me.
We also have George, the dollar store knockoff of Paul Blart, who desperately tries to hit on kiosk girls, and we get these two wannabe rockers who still think playing and acting like 1988 rock stars will make them rich and famous. But even they realize how retarded it is, so they get a new idea after hearing every news reporter talking about the $1 Million Dog.
Well, he looks at me, and I look at him. And he looks at me, and I look at him.
Meanwhile, back upstairs, we get a depressed preteen contemplating her life until a clean-cut version of Billy Bob Thornton in a Santa suit shows up to help Crystal cheer her up by giving her magical change.
I hand them out to people who would otherwise have a crappy Christmas. I buy them online from magicalchristmascoins.co.uk/canz.com.
Well, aren't you the hipster Saint Nick? #trendy.
Crystal plays along, making her wish for a new friend, and sure enough, we get another cutaway scene from watching this awful movie.
This movie is awful.
My God, this is annoying. A movie that rips on itself means I can't think of anything now.
So as Crystal makes her way into the pet store to work, she gets to hear some more exposition from the store's owner.
It's been hard since I lost my Shirley. She was my rock, my world, my everything. But it's only because I've been in so much pain.
Pretty dark, especially for Lifetime standards.
I'm in so much pain listening to your sob story, I wish you'd put me to sleep.
I thought I heard somebody say that they were in so much pain from listening to your sob story that they wanted to be put to sleep.
It takes Crystal a minute to realize that she can, in fact, hear Grumpy Cat all along, but not any of the other animals, mostly because this is, in fact, her movie. And I have to say that throughout a majority of this movie, I'm a little upset that Grumpy Cat isn't doing very much. I mean, all she does is just lay around all the time. She looks way less grumpy and just plain tired. Hell, I guess I would be tired too if I'm being paraded around by everyone all the time and forced to wear silly get-ups. Oh yeah, we cut back to our D-list actors again, where all of the mall employees celebrate their Christmas party.
And goddamn, this is so pointless. Save me from this benign boredom, oh internet cat gods.
Come to me, Crystal. You are powerless to resist me. Meow.
Ah, thank you, oh feline savior.
So Crystal heads back to the mall, which apparently is one of the easiest places to get into when all you need to do is just open the back door. And the same could go for our would-be robbers as they make their way into the mall, tie up George, and stroll on over to the pet store in order to steal the $1 Million Pooch. Crystal notices this and convinces Grumpy Cat to help her bring back the dog, otherwise the pet store would go out of business.
Please, Mr. Crabtree, don't do it. Don't do it, Mr. Crabtree. No! You're a horrible man. This is way too dark. No!
Jesus, you can say that again. Do you really have to go that far, Lifetime?
But thankfully, Crystal and GC have the edge as they grab the kidnapper's keys that they accidentally left behind and begin to make their way through the mall so they can get into the security room.
I'm back. What's happening? I'll tell you what's happening. I just rolled around in some catnip and I'm ready to go. Let's do this.
You can tell by the overall excitement on her face.
The kidnappers head back into the mall to get their keys, only to realize that they're not the only ones inside. One quick pursuit later, and they both try to lay low in a fish and game store. However, leave it to this little pussy to screw things up.
Ooh, shiny little fishies. Yum, yum, yum. Shiny little fishies. Shiny little fishies. Gotcha. Wait, hold on.
But this doesn't sway Crystal as she devises a new plan to use Grumpy Cat as a distraction, giving her enough time to get herself locked and ready to go.
Wow, in comparison, these guys make the wet bandits from Home Alone look like Kaiser Soze.
Oh, how the hunted becomes the hunter.
Once again, I stand corrected.
Crystal and Grumpy finally make another break until they head into the security room where the short, flabby arms of the law is freed from the clutches of duct tape as they head out to the front entrance. Meanwhile, the kidnappers threaten Frankie Muniz as they assume he took their dog, but convinces the two wannabe has-beens that it wasn't him, probably because their assailant was a lot shorter and had longer hair than he does.
Oh, this is so dumb. Why am I even watching this again?
Wow.
Aha! Joke's on you, because I don't even own a cat.
So it looks like everything is all fine and dandy now. Crystal and George have the dog in tow, the crooks are still running around aimlessly around the mall, and everything...
I thought you said they took your phone.
Huh?
Well, this is great. We can call the police now, right?
We're not calling the police, Crystal.
Wait, what the fuck?
George, you devious scoundrel. You're the brains of this operation, aren't you? Look, I gotta say, I totally saw that coming. But you didn't, huh?
Well, you certainly took me by surprise on that one. But then again, we are only 54 minutes into this flick, so we gotta find some way to extend it just a little bit more.
Luckily, like every lazy-ass mall cop, his only mode of transportation is the only way for him to get around, as Crystal and Grumpy Cat give him the slip. So George catches up with his goons and informs them that a 12-year-old girl is the one that is screwing things up for them. Meanwhile, we cut back to our D-list actors party, because we haven't heard from them in over a half an hour, as pretty much nothing happens. And we're back, and it doesn't seem like it isn't going well for Grumpy and Crystal, as they are cornered with nowhere to go.
Are you still on the edge of your seat?
Yes.
Is the dramatic tension too thick?
Maybe?
Are you still here?
Yeah.
You are? Why?
I told you already, it's my job.
So the thieves tie up Crystal as George hikes up his chub and tuck belt and interrogates her very sloppily in order to find out where the keys are that she took from them earlier. She doesn't budge, but manages to find an Achilles heel within her.
I will, however, hurt the cat.
Whoa, what? Me, cat?
Jesus, why does this film have to keep doing this to me?
Crystal spills the beans and tells them that she threw it in the wishing well, giving George the upper hand, Crystal feeling completely let down and sad, and Grumpy feeling...
well, grumpy, obviously.
As Grumpy notices Crystal's sadness, her little heart grew 3 sizes that day as she gives Crystal some positive words of encouragement, letting her know that everything will be alright. And even though she may not think that she is loved, but in fact her mother and all of the minimum wage mall slaves love her back, proving that there is some light at the end of the tunnel for every lonely soul out there. And now it is time for a jailbreak.
Come on, Paige. Oh, it's open.
And all she had to do was slowly extend her fake arm outward.
With Grumpy breaking everyone out and freeing Crystal, the animals begin their assault with their only role in here, doing some outdated 90s gags, and Crystal going all Neo on his floppy ass as he drops his cell phone and getting away with the prize dog in tow. And we're back to these Hollywood wash-ups as Crystal's mother gets a call from her daughter.
Wait, where are you? At the mall! What are you doing at the mall? And what are you doing not in the other room?
You thought your daughter was in the other room for hours? What kind of parent are you?
Apparently not a good one, as Crystal tells her to call the cops herself as she and Grumpy make their way to thwart all 3 crooks and save the day.
Yay, we're gonna save the day.
Wow, that's some enthusiasm you got there.
Crystal and Grumpy upgrade their stolen Vespa to a stolen product placement car as they drive out of the mall and into the parking lot, where we get our half-assed car chase scene, just like what Grumpy Cat promised from earlier, followed by a final game of chicken, which you would think Crystal should have buckled Grumpy Cat in, but it doesn't matter as she goes flying over the car window's glass and crashing right into the Christmas tree, and the criminals being arrested on the spot. Grumpy Cat is fine after all, and Crystal is reunited with her mother and letting her know that she is going to be alright.
But you wanted me to make friends. You just never told me what to.
Wow.
Nothing like finding out that your daughter will grow up to become a crazy cat lady in the future. Great job, Mom.
So on Christmas morning, Crystal tosses her empty prop presents aside in hopes of getting Grumpy Cat, which she does as a surprise. But did she really think that her cat was in one of those boxes? Anyway, everyone is happy with what they got, I suppose. And we get our classic end toss with 3 dubbed Grumpy Cats singing a Christmas carol.
Oh, that's enough. I'm done with this movie. What the? Grumpy Cat? And not some cheap plush doll that I bought a few weeks ago on the internet? Wait, you're not her. Huh. Well, what do you want from me? Yeah, sure, but you don't have to put a gun in my face. Oh, is that so? Well...
Grumpy Cat's worst Christmas ever is exactly what you're getting into with a movie like this. Everything that Aubrey Plaza's narration says about this is true and makes you want to forget about this movie already. The antagonists are barely menacing at all, and the animals in here barely do anything, especially Grumpy Cat herself, and all she does is sit around and pose for the camera just to get reactions out of her. The only positive thing I can say about this is that it breaks the fourth wall to tell the audience how bad it is, just to be ironic, when in fact it is just goddamn annoying. This is just another sad cash grab attempt for Lifetime to make a quick buck on the internet meme of a cat, just so cat lovers out there can watch it and say,
Kitty.
In the end, I give your film a sad little 1.5 out of 5, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Cats don't have banks, you dumb pussy. After all, your owners are the ones who are making the money off of your image. Sore throat! Wrestling! Help me! Lazy bitch! It's talking! What are you talking about? Oh yeah? Then who sent you? And all those other ones who came after me? Time to return to sender. Damn it. This is like the 3rd time this year already. And this ain't a coincidence either. I probably do need to get some new locks. Well, anyways, that was my review on Grumpy Cat, and I will have to say that it could have been better, but then again, it wasn't supposed to be, I assume. And as the year is coming, as 2015 is coming to a close, I just wanted to say to all of you watchers out there, thank you very much. For the past year, it wasn't until a year ago earlier that none of you ever heard about me or the thought that I existed. But now, about roughly 90 of you subscribers out there know who I am, and because of it, I've come to know a lot of you YouTubers out there, and a lot more of my fellow watchers. So from the bottom of my heart, I just want to say thank you all, and have Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Crazy Kwanzaa, and a good New Year. Because if you think this is the best that I have for 2015, just wait until you see what I have in store for 2016. See you guys next time on the BoobTube.